Good morning and welcome to the third and fourth boundary. So he has two slips. He has a man at more of a conventional point position, and there is a square cover on the boundary. A man down at third man. Short extra cover mid-off. Richards is leaving one outside the line of the off stump. And there is no run. It's his turning one in the onside. Didn't time it well, but he's got enough bat onto it and away from the fielder, so he's able to rush back for 2 runs. Alongside me this morning is Dave Soppy Joseph, the former West Indies middle order batter. Happy to have you back with me. Dave, how you been?
Yeah, morning then more. Morning to the viewing and listening audience, wherever you guys may be. I'm doing pretty fine then more.
Well, you're looking as if you're doing pretty fine. you look refreshed and renewed. Have not seen you the last 2 games, and we've seen you again, and you're back with us. What are your expectations for today? Are the players going to take this third and fourth place game very seriously? Are they going to be? Are we going to see as competitive a game as we saw in some of the other matches?
Yeah, well, they'll need to be competitive then more. Third place is much better than fourth. So I expect a very good game from, both teams. We're seeing Trinidad and Tobago for the first. I'm seeing them for the first time.
I've seen them for the first time.
So we'll be looking forward for the talent that they put in on show. Even though it's, in a third place position or fourth place position. So we're looking out for some good individual performances from them.
Ronaldo Fornaila, with the number 25 on his back, is going to open the bowling from this end. Tanis Francis is dropping one in the offside, wanted a single as he felt that that man at point was pretty deep. Richards, not interested though. Shouted, no, no, no. And he's hitting this one over the mid-off region for 4. Maybe didn't go where he wanted it. Almost looked as if he was trying to go squarer. Ball not coming through as quickly as he thought, and he was into the shot early, but got enough bat onto it over the top of the mid-off fielder, down to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, then was he rightfully said, I thought he was looking to go a bit square. Ball was probably a bit slower than he thought. So it ended up, over mid-off. 4 runs nevertheless.
And Francis is coming through for and getting a quick single. Something that he was looking to do with the very first delivery that he faced in this over. He was just dropping it into the offside field, recognizing that the fielders are a little bit deep, starting on the circle and walking in. Even though there was a man at that short extra cover position, because it was away from him, he had to move to his left, and he's a natural right-hander. Good observation by Tanis Francis. Richards gets one outside the line of the off stump, allows it to go by.
Yeah, I think Denmore Richards is a bit tardy there. He needs to be looking to run the singles, especially early in the innings. Where he can, pick up ones and twos. Better if you turn the strike over, rotating, is going to be good for them.
Richards gets a good delivery, leaning on that front foot, gets it off the outer portion of the bat, can't score. 8 without loss. We're in over number 2 of 50. Leeward Islands, when they met the Trinidad and Tobago team in the last round, they scored 270. But that was overhauled by the Trinidad and Tobago team with about 1.1 overs left in that match. So the Leeward Islands know that when they make even a decent pass score, the Trinidad and Tobago batting is able to overhaul it. So they would be hoping that they can do a lot better today. Richards is on 2, Francis is on 6, 8 without loss. We've had 2 overs.
Yeah, I think that 270 at Denver was a good score, but seems like the bowling let them down. I wasn't watching, wasn't really following, so I guess they will have to do much better today, whatever they set for the Trinidadians to get. They'll have to bowl and feel much better than they did over at Ball Beef.
Left-hander continues from that northern end. Daniel Holder.
Yeah, strange enough, then when he started around the wicket, Holder to Tanis Francis. Now he's coming from over for his second over. I'm wondering what's the reason and why he started there.
I was a little bit surprised when I saw him coming around the wicket. Francis is flashing. It leaves the bat in the air. Will it have enough to go to the boundary? No. There's a little bit of feeling down on that boundary area. And they're able to come back for 2 runs. Francis has to be careful. We've seen 2 shots that he has played and which seems not to be coming on as fast as he might have remembered from the last game. Balls leaving the bat in the air but falling safely. Back around the wicket is Ronaldo for Nyla. And Francis doesn't have to play outside the line of the off stump.
Well, judging from the reaction of the bowler there, then where it seems to have been pretty close to the off stump that Tanis Francis just left. So judging from that, he'll have to be watchful. Seems like the ball is actually ducking back.
Francis is driving hard straight to that fielder, well fielded, because that was really
stuff in the covers there then more.
Francis is driving hard for 4. That one left the bat in a flash. And even though there was a man on that deep square cover boundary, he couldn't get anywhere close to that. That crashed into the fence on that boundary. 4 runs to Tanis Francis.
Yeah, that was an excellent shot. And Moji said, the man on the point boundary or cover boundary didn't have a chance. He cracked it real hard. It was into line quickly and smashed it away to the covers of 4.
For Nyla is outside the line of the off stump. A good comeback delivery. Francis doesn't have to play to bring up the end of over number 3. At the end of over number 3, the Leeward Islands. They've taken their personal, their team score onto 14 without loss.
Yeah, as you pointed out then, Tanis Francis and Richards have got to be mindful and watchful. Seems to me as the pitch is not really coming on as the last couple of games we had here. So it's something that they have to take into consideration. And, you'll have to wait until the balls are right on their eyes to really drive at it. It looks to me as it's holding up a bit.
Yep.
I don't know if the moisture was a bit too much. Or a little bit more than they had in the last couple of games. Looks that way to me, though.
I'm wondering if because yesterday too we had lots of cloud overhead, so maybe
it was covered
stayed on a little longer than So it didn't dry out as much as we've seen.
Interesting field placements here then, more in the outside.
This one again, Francis is driving in the air. It's going to get 2 runs. Again, but that's Richards. Again, not in full control. It was right up to him. Was looking to go over the top. And again, the ball almost as if it just stopped on him. He was through the shot pretty early. Fielders running back thinking they might be in business, but the ball fell safely. They get 2. Naughty stroke outside the off stump. He was looking to play a flat batted shot, maybe to tug it into the onside field. Might have been better looking to go to hit that one through the offside. No damage done. Ball beating him through to the wicketkeeper.
Might have been a good shot then, more had he got onto it. But to just force the captain to make a change because there's only 2 men on the onside. So had he got that ball into mid-wicket there, it might have been, some pressure on the captain of TNT to actually change the field placement. They've got a couple of guys in the offside. Here's a slip, backward point, deep extra cover, and another man at cover, like almost what?
When they have you have 2 people.
2 extra covers, and deeper than one here, so he's looking to maneuver the field. Yeah, that's what he's doing then more. Yeah.
Richard just walking down, getting to that one a lot earlier and working it into the vacant straightish mid-wicket position for a single.
I don't think the TNT team will mind a single then more. When he start getting boundaries in that area, through mid-wicket, it's going to be a bother for them.
I think the captain has recognized that the pitch is not coming on as much, and that's the reason for those 2 extra cover fielders. One that's going down the leg side, not held on by Ramanan as he was tumbling away to his left. They come through for... Is that a run?
Yeah, it seems so. We have not seen any signal from the umpire.
Seen any signal coming from umpire Afisha Holder. So interesting. Maybe she thought that Francis might have gotten edged onto this one.
The fielders actually went up half-heartedly, so maybe there might have been a nick on it.
Leeward gets another single down to the 3rd man position, and the Leewards would want to do this, continue to keep the scoreboard ticking over, wait on the boundary deliveries, and brings up the end of another over. At the end of over number 4, Leeward Islands, they've moved on to 19 without loss.
Yeah, 19 without loss is not a bad score from 4 then more. I think they could have picked up a few more runs. Running between the wickets needs to be, spot on. I think Richards is a bit tired. As I say, he's not really pushing. I don't know why, but when the ball goes into the deep, you've got to run the first one actually fast.
Last game we had here, the Jamaicans found it very difficult in the power play. Good delivery to start a new over, and we've seen a number of left-handed pacers in this tournament. Saw one for the Leeward Islands. Barbados had a very good one in the last match they played here. I think there's one that plays for the Windward Islands as well. We've seen one from Jamaica.
No, one from TNT.
This one is flying off the edge, but it's going to fall short of the man down at that 3rd man position. And again, Richards was lifting his head, looking to go over the top. And maybe he needs to just change his approach a little bit. It's living, for me, a little bit dangerously. 20 without loss. I was saying that Jamaica, in their first 10 overs, only scored 22 runs.
Yeah, well, I guess it was tough going then more.
Ended up being bowled out for 107.
Sharp.
This is a good shot by Tanis Francis for 4. On the back foot and punching that past that man at point and into that backward point boundary for 4.
Yeah, this is a man of class then more. He's showing that he has shots all around the ground. Whether he's on the back foot, on the front foot, square of the wicket, on the onside and the offside, straight down the ground, he has a lot of shots. He just needs to go big then more.
Definitely needs to get in and stay in. He's getting one right up and he's driving. Bowler knocks it down, so can't score.
Yeah, it's basically the same field placement being employed on the offside here for the left-handers, for the left-handed fast bowler then more. Very well played.
Very well played by Tanis Francis. Just guiding down to third man for a single. Dharan Danraj has been in the thick of things so far in the morning. Seen a few balls coming down in his direction. This one is driven by Richards. This time he's going to get a boundary as he got good bat onto that one and deliberately driving it back past the bowler. And it sort of looked as if it was slowing up, but it had enough legs to get into that long on boundary, and that's 4 runs.
Yeah, I mean, Richard's making no jokes. Once you're in his area, he's going to have a go at you. And he's doing so pretty well so far. Then more, his intention is to get runs in the power play, it looks like. And he's doing a good job at it.
Definitely doing a good job of it. 29 without loss, the Leeward Islands. So we watch as here is for Naila. He's continuing. First delivery is played defensively. He's the Trinidad and Tobago vice captain in Ronaldo for Naila. Captain being Brandon Budu. Christiana Ramanan is the wicket keeper. We tend to open our eyes and have a look at the wicket keepers. It's a key position these days.
Shot.
One
Sweet.
that is driven sweetly, but straight to that fielder there. 2 of them in that
Extra cover region.
cover region. One short in a catch and then one a little bit deeper. They're about 5 meters apart.
One thing I must say then more is the Trinidadian fast bowlers, they have stuck to their lines. Yeah, they have managed to bowl a steady line outside off stump so far. They're not express pace, but at least they're, doing the job in terms of the lines that they're bowling, in terms of the field placement that the captain has set for them.
And what has been very good is that they have not given away anything at all in terms of extras. We don't see the wides and the no balls coming from them, so they've been very disciplined. This is another delivery that is driven over the offside. Giving chase is that man I spoke about there in Ronaldo. And he can't stop it. The ball rushing into the boundary for 4.
Yeah, I think what's important then more that the Leeward's batters, once they're given an opportunity to have a go, they're gonna really have a go. It's looking very positive in their approach.
Richards is edging, and
That's Thomas.
this
Francis.
is that Francis.
Yes, it is.
Francis just gives his hand away.
Hiding it into the
Trying to
slips.
guide one down to the third man and just guiding it into the hand of that man at first slip. Catch taken. And as Francis goes, Leeward Islands losing their first wicket. They're 33
33 for one.
for one.
Yeah,
A
I
very
think,
soft way for Tanis Francis to go.
yeah, it's soft, but I've got to give credit to the TNT bowlers. They've stuck to their lines and their lengths and make it even harder for the Leeward's batters to score. So Tanis was basically trying to score, and I think he just probably made a blunder there in terms of trying to guide that one.
Yeah, just trying to guide that one maybe down to
The third man, yeah.
but a fine edge onto it, and it carried to that man at first slip.
Yeah, well caught there in the slips to Denmo. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the bowlers from TNT there. As I said, they've been sticking to their guns in terms of the lines they're bowling and the lengths. And the discipline that they've shown is very, good Denmo.
Tanis Francis would be very disappointed with the way that he got out and the fact that he's back in the pavilion. 22 runs he made in this partnership. Kunal Tilokani is the man that is coming at number 3 for the Leeward Islands. I'm surprised at the Leeward Islands batting order. We see Jones, who we know is an opener, Amory Jones, back in the squad today. But he's probably going to come somewhere down the order. We'll see how that works out if he gets an opportunity. Tilokani's leaving his first delivery outside the line of the off stump. And that's the end of the over. Funaila getting a wicket in that over 3 overs for 14 runs so far, 33 for 1.
Yeah, we're looking forward to see Tilakani do something special then more. I think we have a lot of talk has been made about him, with the abilities and the class that he has. Get to see it. Yeah, I'd love to see him get going.
Yeah, he's much talked about. Young Kunal Tilokani. Holders continuing and he's beating Richards outside the line of the off stump. First delivery. Richards just playing down the wrong line of that one, and it went past the outside edge. Barbados, they're 28 for 1. Gadson Boyens, the captain. Cotton Bowl Moore for 8. Jade Moore getting another wicket, adding another wicket. Jordan Graham and Killan Clark are the 2 batters at the crease now for the Barbados team. And that's for the championship game. Driving and missing outside the off stump again is Richards. Don't seem to have a start in that match between the Windward Islands and the Guyana under 19s. So as soon as we get that one up, we'll bring you up to date. Right here at Bethesda playing P33 for 1. Tanis Francis back in the pavilion, making 22 runs. And he thinks about that one, maybe just didn't probably look around the field as he wanted to, because he just guided that one straight into the hand of that man who is well back at slip.
Well, I want to think as a opener then where you want to be, especially in these opening overs in the power play, looking to play the ball in front of you as much as possible, rather than looking to run it down to third man and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, probably just trying to get a little bit too cute and giving his wicket away. Driven by Tilokani. For a moment, the bowler thought that he might have been in business. One left to bat slightly in the air from Kunal Tilokani. As Daniel Holder continues to bowl pretty well. 20 runs has come from his bowling so far. But for the most part, he has hit the target. Tilokani is driving over the top. 2 bounces, 4 runs. Right up to him, and he went straight through the line of that one, got it over the top of mid-off and into the boundary for 4.
Yeah, it's good innovation there by Tilakani. Then we'll actually use his feet a bit to, change the length. I think Holder was, pitching down on a decent length for, consistently. And he just took a few steps down.
Sort of just walked into that one.
And played a great shot over the covers of 4.
Made that one into a half volley.
Yeah, so it looks like the class that he has that they talk about is coming up to the party. Then
well, the Leewards would be hoping that he really gets in and gets a good score today.
Yeah, well, you need to then.
38 for 1. New over started. First delivery is played defensively, no run.
Yeah, Richards is looking, pretty sound. Then more so far.
Funila looks like a typical Trinidad and Tobago fast bowler. When I say typical, meaning that looks to be consistent, bowl the good length, but not with the express pace that we would see from other fast bowlers. So he's sacrificed the express pace to go for more of a control. Outside the off stump and beaten Richards this time. Richards not moving his feet, just waving the bat at that one.
Yeah, he reminds me much of Mervyn Dillon.
I was gonna say that
he has that sort of physique too. He's not as tall as him as yet, but
not as tall, but very similar.
And he gets the ball to move around. It seems like a bit. That one just left Richards there.
Beating Richards again outside the line of the off stump. Richards was trying to punch that one back down the ground. The ball just shaping away from him into the gloves of Ramanan. 2 dot deliveries by Ronaldo for Nyla.
What's noticeable about them then more the fast bowlers, they definitely know what they want. I can see that in the way they pulling the fielders around a bit. They know exactly what they want, which makes it easier for the captain.
They're going to get a single here as Richards is jumping on that back foot and playing it into a straightish mid-wicket position for another single. And it helps when the players are also knowing their best feels, the way they want their fielders to be.
Yeah, well, they would have made, that assessment, having played the Leewards in the last game, in terms of the batters they bowl into. They should know where to place the guys, fielders.
Tilokani is pushing and beaten by one outside the line of the off stump, just a little bit wider. Was pushing at that one, not making the contact. into the gloves of the wicketkeeper. End of another over has come up at the end of it. Just a single coming from the over 39 for 1.
Yeah, good stuff by the TNT open bowlers. As I said, they've been rather disciplined, sticking to their lines and their lengths, and at least then when they've managed to keep the ball outside half stump and they've actually bring the scoring on the checks in standings as France has left. We've seen only, one boundary so far since he has left? Yeah.
Just that boundary from Kunal Tilokani of the last ball of the previous over by Holder. Holder starts and he's coming around the wicket to the right-handers. And again, not bowling with any extreme pace, but has gone for the accuracy and the control, not giving anything away.
That's a big shot.
Delivery that is driven beautifully for 6. It was right up to him, and he got into that one, got underneath it, did Everett Richards, and he hit that one right back over the top of Holder. 6 runs.
Yeah, that's a big shot then. That's an excellent strike. Stepping into line, that delivery was straight, and he showed that he have the ability to play straight and hit it straight down the ground for 6. Ooh.
And he's out. Yeah. So catch taken in that short quad point position. And Richards there. After playing such a beautiful shot, the delivery before.
Yeah, I think it was tough luck to him then more. He actually got a short ball which he looked to turn into the onside. He actually turned a bit too early and took the leading edge, flew to point. I think it was a, tough out for him because he was looking to, work it into that gap at mid-wicket there. So he has to go anyway.
Tough way to go.
But
he's back in the pavilion, and the Leeward Islands losing the second wicket in 45 for 2 in over number 9. Looks as if it's Jake Nathanes who has gone out to join Kunal Tilokani. Let's just have a look again, if we could, maybe at the dismissal. No, we just missed it there. Was hoping to just have a look at it once more just to see how early he was turning that bat.
Yeah, it definitely don't have the pace as we've seen on the previous, tracks for the last set of games you've seen. It's a bit slow. So you definitely have to wait a bit later to play your shots.
I think the players need to adjust as well.
Yeah, well, they need to make that adjustment and make it quickly then more.
In the last game, when the Leewards made 270, Jake Nathanes didn't score. So he'd be looking for his first runs against Trinidad and Tobago. Scoring square of the wicket on the back foot, can't beat the fielder there, can't beat Christian Lal. So you'll have to stay in his crease. Walks away, trying to compose himself, trying to see if he can be composed today. When he batted here the last time, he got 55 on this ground. He's again pulling at one, and that one rolled very closely to those stumps.
Yeah, as I said, then more these Leeward's batters, they have to make that adjustment quickly. The ball is definitely coming on a bit slower than the usual tracks that we've seen here as Bethesda. So Atnes was into the shot and threw the shot before the delivery
Yeah,
actually
that
came.
ball came well after he was through the shot, probably taking him on the gloves and just falling very close. Could have been bold. He's covering up and playing it defensively, and then a throwback at Atenes by the fast bowler there in Holder. Not a good sight at all.
No, I think that was ridiculous then, Mo.
Yeah, it was.
The batter didn't even move. Yeah, that was a ridiculous one.
Yeah, just picking the ball up and having a throwback at Atenes, and Atenes was not even. He was just literally posing after playing a defensive shot. And just a moment of madness there from Daniel Holder. Just lost his head a little bit. Not the kind of sportsmanship you would want to see in these situations. So I think the umpires are just going to have a little talk with the players just to make sure that they get things under control. There's still some talking taking place out there. Brendan Boudou having a talk with the umpire. Not sure what he would be trying to defend, though. Start of a new over, and we see the very first extra of the innings. One that is fired down the leg side. I wonder if there was a little bit of bad blood between these two teams coming out of the last game, because the way that he just took that up and threw it at the batter there. Here's one that he's just giving his hand away. Kunal Tilokani driving one out to the mid-on region, and the catch is taken. And that's the end of Kunal Tilokani, and the Leeward Islands, they're losing their way a little bit. Ethan Ramcharan taking the catch, and a soft dismissal there for Kunal Tilokani. He comes back for 4, and the Leeward Islands losing their third wicket. They are now 46 for 3.
Yeah, as I said earlier on, then more these guys have got to, look to wait until the ball is right on their eyes to really, have a go at it. Or the other option is to try and put it on the ground, which I'm not seeing from these guys here.
You would think that on the 19 stage, Dave Joseph, a little bit of cricket awareness and assessment should be something that these guys are capable of assessing what is carrying on, assessing the pitch, assessing the way that it's been played, assessing the type of shots that you have to play at this stage, and just the way that we've just seen some soft type dismissals. Tanis Francis guiding one down to slip, just trying to be fancy, and then Kunal Tilokani just giving his hand away, a notting ball, and he just drove it very easily out to the man at that mid-on region. Good catch taken in the end, but soft way for Kunal Tilokani to go. Leeward Islands in some trouble inside the first power play.
Yeah, there's always the option to put the ball on the ground, and we can come forward and stroke it on the ground. So no use to just try to hit the ball in the air. And you can't even play the field, so it doesn't make any sense. So you need to put it on the ground, knock it around for a bit until you can see probably the first bowling change or something like that. You could do something else.
Matthew Miller is there. He got 65 in the last game.
Yeah, well, he'll need to come good again here now today. Then more, if he's going to pull his team and Leeward's out of the hole that they're in at this point.
He's getting a delivery outside the line of the off stump, one that's keeping low. A sprinkling of spectators around, some of the Trinidad following, they're here. A couple of folks from the community. There's a set of guys on that northern side on the neem tree. Miller gets his first run, and the ball going through the legs of the fielder down on the wide third man position, allowing them to come back for a second.
Yeah, I think that area over there talking about Denmore, with the neem trees, they call it Junk Hill.
Junk Hill?
I don't know why, but that's the name for that area.
I think they because the people that lime there are usually DRUNK. Because they have a very there is outside the line of the off stump and not out, says the umpire, that one going past the edge, and she's sent him on his way belatedly. So Matthew Miller is gone. I thought for a moment that Fisher Holder was shaking her head, but then she raised the index finger, and Matthew Miller is back in the pavilion. Leeward Islands losing their fourth wicket. They're now 48 for 4 in over number 10 and in deep, deep, deep trouble.
Yeah, they well bowled to the Trinidad fast bowler as well, Ronaldo. Yeah, he's on about that spot there, then we're just on about the off stump, and he's getting the ball to leave the batsman, the right-handed batters. So he's bowling pretty well, and catch taken by the wicketkeeper.
Ronaldo for Naila.
Yes. Good stuff by the TNT fast bowlers.
Yep, he would be.
Miller will have to regroup and come again. It's going to be next season for him if he...
Probably. We'll have to check his age if he's still eligible.
For next year.
For next year. But a Fisher Holder took some time before she decided that she was going to raise that index finger. For a moment, I thought that she was shaking her head. It looked away from our vantage point. The Trinidadians, I thought, if you notice that they had almost come down in terms of their energy, and then belatedly, she decided to raise the finger.
No, I think it was a huge edge, then more.
It looked so from here.
She was wondering if Miller is not going to leave. And then if he decides he's not going to leave, I'll have to send him on his way, which he did rightfully so. I thought it was a huge edge.
We saw that in the last game as well, where it was a genuine edge, and the umpire was expecting the batter to walk, and he stood his ground. Ended up having to send him in the end.
Yeah.
But I feel that if it's an edge, just send them right away.
Oh, that's your feeling then, more.
Because the job of the umpire, they say, is to give the player out. Players are not mandated to walk.
Yeah, well, she did. She gave him out.
She did give him out.
The time factor is another question. I think this is a good option here for Leeward. You've got a right and left hand combination now. So.
Amory Jones, who usually opens the batting for the Leeward Islands, is now coming in at number 6. Amory Jones gets his first delivery outside the line of the off stump. But the two batters for the Leeward Islands at the crease in Jones and Martinez, both are not. Leeward Islands have had a positive start. They got to 33 for the first wicket. But then they've lost 4 wickets for 15 runs.
And 4 of the better batters too.
Certainly. Jones is squeezing one square of the wicket, can't beat the infield. And this is an opportunity for Jones, where he started at the opening for the Leeward Islands, and he was left out of the team and back in the squad today, getting an opportunity to repay the selectors' confidence in him. We'll see how he gets about. The power play has finished. The first power play, Leeward Islands, they're 48, but they've lost 4 wickets.
Yeah, then more he has an opportunity to bat. He's got quite a bit of overs to come. As I say, the next 40 overs to come, no hurry, no rush. More batters will need to get themselves in and try to, score as much runs as they possibly can. And I don't see the need for them to be trying to go over the top and that kind of stuff now, as I say. Even in the power play, Leewards are losing wickets, and they're still trying to...
You gotta change the approach.
Change
the approach.
So let's see the thinking then.
Yeah, and that is what I am expecting at the under 19 stage. Some folks say then more you're rehashing the point, or you're really belaboring the point. But I feel personally that at on the 19 level, we have to see a lot more ability being shown, a lot more thinking, a lot more application. We can't still have them operating like little boys, like beyond the 15, where or on the 13s where you'd say, okay, they're young, you give them an opportunity. They're literally looking to get to the adult stage. It's time for them to start to show that sort of understanding and responsibility.
Well, they're right there then more. You see guys making the West Indies team from under 19, so they're right there.
Darren Danraj is in, and immediately after the 10 overs, the Trinidad's, they've introduced spin, and Jacob Athenes, he gets off the mark. 49 for 4 for Leeward Islands. So if you're a Leeward Islands fan and you were hoping to come and see them bat, you better put some pressure on the air. Get here quickly, because the Leeward Islands, they're losing wickets and losing them very quickly. They're hoping, though, that Amory Jones and Jacob Nathanes can get a partnership going.
Yeah, well, they'll need to buckle down and bat then more, both of them.
Jones leaving one outside the off stump.
Is this young Dan Raj then more?
Darren Danraj.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if he's any relation to the
We're wondering
Ginger Dan Raj.
if he's related. No doubt one of our Trinidad and Tobago friends will tell us if there is any relation at all. He's a left arm spinner. Driven on the bounce, field led by that looks to be Pollard in that
Extra cover
region. He's edging and caught at slip. And that's the end of Amory Jones. Pushed at one, edge found, smart catch taken. Jones goes. Leeward Islands at the first interval, first water break, the first refreshment break. They are in serious trouble. They are on 49 now for 5 wickets, and they're losing their way.
Yeah, then more they're definitely losing their way. They'll need to stand up and bat. You know, I don't see nothing out there that should really trouble them, but they need to execute that level of patience and stick around and stand up and bat.
So we're going to take a hydration break as the players refresh themselves. The score here at Bethesda 49 for 5. That's the way back here at Bethesda. It's a sunlit morning. Looks good for cricket. Looks the outfield looks nice and fast. The sun is hot. Leeward's winning the toss, but they're not having a good time with the bat. They've lost 5 wickets in the first 11 overs. And we see LaShawn Bergen. He has come out. He's going to be facing the left arm spin of Danraj. And he's back. And he's bowled. So for a moment there, I was just unsighted, but he was on the back foot. Got one that kept a little bit low. He was really on the back foot, playing a terrible shot to Danraj. And LaShawn Bergen comes back, bowled first ball, and the Leeward Islands in further trouble. They're now 49 for 6. Dave, what's going on here?
Yeah, this is definitely not making any sense then. This is a left-arm bowler, Chinaman. The ball is spinning into you as a right-hander. You need to get on your front foot. As you said earlier on, people should be able to assess what's going on and, make some adjustments and start to play.
LaShawn Bergen was not minded to get onto that front foot. He went on the back foot.
Yeah.
Man, got himself bowled. Could we see that one again?
By now you should be able to work out what's going on with this bowler and, make the adjustment or, come and play. It's going to be interesting to see how Athenaeus handles him. I think he got Athenaeus out last game too.
We'll just have a look and see.
Here we go then more.
Let's just have a look at it. Yeah.
Chopped it on, actually.
Chopped it on the back foot.
Yeah, the ball's going to spin into you. Yeah. So you got to be careful. Stay on your front foot.
Looking to back away and force it through the offside to the inner portion of the back onto his stumps. And LaShawn Bergen has gone first delivery. So means that Danraj will be on a hat-trick. The first ball of his next over. Lyth Brown has come out to join Jaquan Athenaeus. And the Leeward Islands in serious trouble here. They picked a longer batting lineup today, but it has not made a difference because they're probably having their worst
batting display
so far.
Yeah, as we know it then more. If your first 5 batters can't do the job for you, you're not going to get it done. So these first 5 guys that need to step up their game and buckle down and play.
This one is clipped away into the onside field. They run back for 2 runs. So Jaquan Athenaeus getting 2 more runs. Ronaldo Fornila is still there.
Yeah, Athenaeus will need to come to the party then more. He has lots of ability, lots of talent. So he will definitely need to come to the party and get a score. As you see, change of field. So you just need to stick around and bat.
Trinidad, they just move one of the 2 extra covers now into a mid-wicket position. Athenaeus is caught behind, flashing outside the line of the off-stump. Edge found, great catch taken by the wicketkeeper, diving away to his right. And the Leeward Islands, they slide in. They're now 51 for 7.
Yeah, as I said, they're more well bowled to the TNT bowlers. They have bowled that line consistently and bowled it well. And if you see the amount of catches going to the slips and the wicketkeeper, that will tell you exactly what's going on. I think some shots that have been played a little bit careless, but the line has been, pretty consistent, which will bring the goods to you.
So Ramanan would be very happy with that one. Athenaeus was flashing outside the line of the off-stump, flashed hard. A thick outside edge was going to his right, and Ramanan getting across, getting 2 hands to it, taking it and rolling over. And the Leeward Islands in deep trouble now. They're 51 for 7 and sliding here.
Yeah, Denmoy looks like it's going to be an early day today based on what's going on, unless the Leewards put up some real fight.
Let's see if Jason Edwards and Lyth Brown are able to do anything, but the Leeward Islands are really, really sliding, and look in their dressing room there. Extremely mute, extremely quiet, sad faces. Score projector still thinks that the Leewards could get up to 225 runs if they bat well from here. Jathan Edward opened the batting in first time we saw the Leeward Islands here. He's now coming down the order outside the line of the off stump, and he's driving and missing.
Yeah, here's what been saying then, more we have not seen the thinking in terms of the batters. You have seen what's been going on. Quite a few guys have been caught at slip, caught wicket keeper. We see another slip being added now. So
first delivery, Jathan Edwards is flashing outside the off stump.
Yeah, so we need to see them, at least they've been thinking a bit more, following the game, following the bowlers, see what they're doing and that kind of stuff.
Doesn't appear as if he was paying attention. Beaten outside the line of the off stump again. Ronaldo Fornala continues to bowl well. 4 wickets for 20 runs so far.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job then more. I said he is. I think I've seen 2 balls that were clipped into the inside from him. Maybe 2 of them that went down the leg side that gave the wicketkeeper some trouble, but he has been on spot and on point for most part of it. Outside the awesome, just thereabouts.
Barbados, when we last heard, they have recovered, losing that early wicket. They're now 76 for 1, playing against the Jamaicans after 10 overs. So, going pretty well there.
76 power play.
76 in the power play. Windward Islands and Guyana just started, and the Guyanese are batting. They're 5 without loss. Flicked away over the square leg region, and it should go all the way for 6.
Yeah, that's a huge shot by Edward. Then more. And I think that's probably one of the only deliveries you saw on the pad. So.
Yeah, he's just trained there.
Yeah, clipped it
Ronaldo for 6. Probably just getting carried away. He's beaten him a couple of deliveries outside the line of the off stump, and maybe just trying to attack the stumps, getting his line wrong on that occasion. And Edward was very quick onto that one, flicking it. Carried very long out into the street here at Bethesda and went for 6. Total has moved on now to 57. 57 for 7. So let me just tell you the situation with the Leeward Islands scorecard. So far, the Leeward Islands won the toss this morning and they decided they want to bat. So we're just waiting for the hat-trick delivery from Dan Raj. Got 2 wickets with his last 2 deliveries in his previous over. As we're just waiting for the Trinidadians to retrieve the ball. They've done so now. And so they're now just getting back in place. As Dan Raj stands at that far end. Francis made 22, Richards 19. But then the rest of the Leeward Islands batting so far reads like a Caribbean telephone number. This is the hat-trick delivery. And not a very good delivery, short of a length and just standing up and pushing it back. Is light brown. Brown is looking to come forward again, pushing forward. So the rest of the Leeward Islands batting reads 4-3-2-0-0-0. Brown is driving pleasantly along the ground. We'll get a single out to deep extra cover, who's on the boundary. Tanis Francis was caught Budua 4 for 22, just guiding one into the first slip's hand. Richards was caught Laloff Holder for 19. Kunal Tilakani just gave his hand away, just driving one out to that mid-on region. Runs here for the Leeward Islands. This one is coming down to a fine leg region, and they're able to come back for 2 runs. Kadir Juman giving chase there. Fielding. Edward trying to come forward to the left arm spin of Darren Danraj. 2 wickets for 4 runs so far. Just 1 delivery to come in his second over. Edwards is driving again, but this time it comes off the thick inside edge, going down to that short square leg position. Can't score.
Yeah, clearly Denmore we've seen that Leeward's batters have no clue apart from, Light Edwards, Brown. He played the right shot, I think, to this young bowler. So
yeah, he's the only one that we've seen trying to push out on that front foot,
so
Light Brown.
You've got to use some smarts.
So Tilukani made 4. Jake Nathan has 3. Matthew Miller got 2. Amory Jones didn't score. And LaShawn Bergen got a 1-ball duck. Was bowled the first ball on the back foot to Danraj and trapping one onto his stumps. So Jathan Edwards and Light Brown at the crease.
See another spinner coming into the attack then more. So it's not going to be easy going for the Leewards.
Trinidad not letting the pressure off the Leeward Islands at all. Kadir Juman. Another left arm spinner. And forward, but with an angled bat is Light Brown, guiding it down into the slip region. Captain is there, feels well, no run. Tall spinner is Kadir Juman. Walks in, then breaks into a little run. Leewards, they're going to steal a run. It's a little bit of casual feeling there by the Trinidad and Tobago fielders, allowing the batters to steal a single. But it brings Jathan Edward onto strike. Bounce and turn there
he's
for
getting some turn then more.
This time, Edward just allowing it to go by outside the line of the off stump. The bowling for Trinidad, 1 wicket for Holder, 4 wickets so far for Naila. 2 wickets for Danraj. And what has been very good for the Trinidad and Tobago team, after 14 overs, they've only bowled 1 extra.
Yeah, this is remarkable. I think the other teams that we have watched here, then they've given you quite a few extras.
Yep, quite a few extras.
Yeah, lots of wides and, that kind of
extras are usually in the 30s, probably heading to 40s in some of the matches.
Average was probably about 30s, yeah.
Yep.
That we have seen. So that's good on the Trinidad and Tobago behalf. They've been disciplined, especially with that aspect of the game. Yeah, then more Brown looks pretty easy. He looks like he understands what's going on. So
I think he was.
Yeah, if you realize that now, then more.
Certainly. A little flatter and faster.
Yeah.
Because he recognized that Brown is reading him and Brown is looking to push out.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of it.
So he's forced him to have to adjust.
He has made the adjustment definitely too. this young Dan Raj. Shots, sweet.
Again, pushing out and looking to play straight and being successful there. Light brown. That's just his third run. 62 now for 7. Yes, if you're just tuning in, you're hearing me right. Leeward Islands, they're 62 for 7. All of their top order batters are back in the pavilion.
Then more Brown may tell you he's a top order batsman as well. So you've got to be
I think he
careful.
used to open the batting.
So there we go. Well played, well watched.
Jathan Edward just watching one and turning it down for a single. Kadir Juman
Ends the over.
coming in. End of another over. That's the scorecard there for the Leeward Islands. 63 for 7. We've had 15 overs.
Then more I rather like the choice of ends that the TNT captain has sought to bowl his spinners from. I think he has got it right. Sometimes we see most of the captains in this league not getting it right in terms of the choice of ends for their bowlers. Wow.
So Edwards is out. It was almost anticlimactic. He drove one back. I was wondering if he drove it straight into the pitch, but it came full back to Kadir Juman, and he sort of bobbled it. He made a real hash of it. We're now just hoping to see what happens there. Let's look. Yeah, he drove it straight back to him. And yeah, he really bobbled it. Look, let's look. Yeah. A little bit of flight. Yeah, and he drove it straight back to him. Kadir jumped up. He took it. He bobbled. He eventually held on to it, almost making a hash of what seemed to have been a very simple catch. Leeward Islands losing the 8th wicket. Jathan Edward coming back for 9. Leewards, the 63 for 8. And really sliding here in this one.
I think well bowled by Juman. Well bowled and caught. I think he was actually looking for it to come a bit quicker to him, but he did not.
Yeah, I think that's what
caught him off guard.
Caught him off guard.
Yeah.
It just lobbed back to him. And he was almost wondering, wait, is this really a catch?
Yeah.
Sort of knocked it up like a goalkeeper.
He couldn't realize, couldn't believe that it was going to be that easy.
That it's going to be that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that brings young Daniel out, then more.
Andre Daniel. Somebody we saw the last time having a lot to say. A lot of serious trouble here of being steamrolled in this 3rd and 4th place game. And I was asking earlier, are we going to get a good game with the teams fighting for this 3rd place? And you did say 3rd sounds a lot better than 4th. But Leeward Islands just didn't come to the party today in terms of their batting.
Yeah, most certainly then more they have not shown that sort of depth and grit in terms of looking to put up that fight. I guess they've actually thrown up their hands. So far, it looks that way.
So Andre Daniel gets his first delivery outside the line of the off stump. Just pushes the pad at it. Doesn't have to play. And be a little fighter, Andre Daniel, from what we've seen. Very short in stature. And he's already looking to come on that front foot.
Yeah, he's very short, very small, then more of stature, as you said, rightfully. But he reminds me very much then more of Stuart Williams.
Yeah.
When we started in youth cricket back in 1985.
Very small at
Very
that
small,
time.
I think
Very small at that time.
Yeah, could hardly get the ball off the square, Stuart Williams, but he he matured and blossomed into a great
and
player.
really blossomed into a great player.
Yeah. Short and sweet.
Daniel gets his first one, timing one sweetly out into that deep cover region. Comes through for a single. Have you ever been to a game? Been at the grounds when a game is played, a player makes 100 and you didn't see a ball of it? I'll tell you the story.
Not sure about that then.
I'll tell you the
No,
story.
you're just trying to tell me.
Myself and Kenny Benjamin over in Montserrat.
Oh, you're talking as a spectator.
As a spectator,
Okay.
that you're at the grounds, you're watching the game, you're there to watch the game. A player makes 100 and you didn't see a ball. End of another over, 64 for 8.
I'll tell you something about that then more. Most of the times I'm watching cricket, I'll normally miss when the players get out.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because sometimes the
They've been caught up with a lot of things.
discussion outside is much more interesting than sometimes paying full attention to the game. I think maybe one of the commentators, we tend to try and watch.
Yeah,
I would say
you're much more
90,
focused.
I would say
yeah.
90% of the game, because sometimes we look off and miss something, but we have the benefit of the
The
replay
replay.
to catch us up. But I was saying that myself and Kenny Benjamin, we went to Montserrat to have a look at Lionel Baker, who was just coming through. And they had asked Kenny Benjamin to come down and have a look at him, and he walked with me as his cameraman. So we were there, but it was the time when the volcano was very active. Andre Daniel is pulled forward, and so the night we were staying with our host, and the house was shaking all night. And myself and Kenny Benjamin kept getting up and sprinting outside of this house. And we remember that our hosts, they were fast asleep. They weren't even paying attention.
Wow.
We didn't get a wink of sleep the night. How that house was shaking. We were terrified. We got to the game in the morning. We set up the cameras and everything. We took a couple of early. Nevis was batting. So we got a couple of early shots of Ika from different angles. And then we decided we were going to go over on the main stand and we're going to just have a little chill for a few minutes. Stuart Williams was sitting there with his shirt off, padded up. And then when we dozed off, when we opened our eyes, he was still there, sitting down, pads on, with his shirt off. A little old man came by and said, "Well played, Stuart." Daniel continues to push forward, and Kenny Benjamin looked at me and I looked at him. I mean, wondering, what is he talking about? Stuart looks the same. He was just out, made a century. He didn't see a ball.
Wow.
We dozed off, and that was it. We didn't see one shot of Stuart Williams' innings. That was so funny. But Daniel is there, and he's looking himself.
He looks good then,
Brown,
more. He
they're
looks
just
really
trying to
good.
be positive, trying to get on that front foot. They survive another over. Leeward Islands after 17 overs, they're 64 for 8. Andre Daniel and Light Brown at the crease on 3. 3 for Brown, 1 for Andre Daniel. They just want to say good morning to the folks listening to us over there in Montserrat. That was an experience. I remember that while we were at the ground, one time there was an eruption in the volcano. They had a pyroclastic flow and lots of ash. Big plume up into the air. And we were the only 2 people running, myself and Kenny Benjamin. Everybody else looked nice and calm. They felt that it was just a normal day of operation. We just couldn't get the hang of it. But it was a good time I had it over there in Montserrat. I always remember that.
Yeah, I think these young batters here for Leeward now, then more they from Nevis, and they understands a lot of spin bowling in that country there.
Yeah, they have a lot of spin down
Yeah,
there. And they're
handling it pretty well.
They handle it very well.
They're not getting the runs at the moment, but they're handling it pretty well. they look comfortable, not to be flustered about it. You know, I like to see young Daniel, especially.
Edging, but is it dropped?
No, I think it pitched before
Look, maybe
it pitched
it
before
bounced
the
before it got to
first
the
slip.
first slip fielder. Paddy Edgerman, just 1 wicket so far, a ball and caught effort. And nice shot there from Light Brown again, this time on the back foot and punching one pleasantly. Scrape the wicket. Gets another run.
Yeah, the Leewards will have to dig in and try to bring
6 for 8.
at least get to 100, which will look much better than what they had at this point.
Paddy Edgerman just trying to tempt right-hander with a flighted delivery. Another defensive shot to end the over 66 for 8 after 18.
It's still going to be young Daniel to continue then more from the far end.
I was here thinking out loud if the Trinidad and Tobago maybe shouldn't maybe look to bring back a pacer to look to try and wrap things up. Not allow the Leeward Islanders to hang around because these two look very comfortable with the spin.
Yeah, well, I think they'd want to continue their spin then more. I think their spin, I think that's their they have gotten a few wickets with the Pacers, but I think the trump cards are going to be the spinners. As you see, then more even the spinners knowing the field placement that they want, and that is good to see.
Very good to see. First delivery is just pulling Light Brown on that front foot. Plays defensively.
Yeah, it's only two men on the inside then more, which young Dan Raj is sticking to his guns and he's bowling a pretty decent line.
And even though he's getting the ball to come back into the right-handers, because he's pitching it wide of the off stump. He's confident in his field placements.
Yeah, I think the line that he starts it at is going to be the real thing. Then when he starts he's starting a bit wider.
And I think
he's trying to induce them to drive to the offside and it opens up a gap between bat and pad. So not bad thinking by young Dan Raj. Yeah, I rather like the approach by young Daniel than more. He's not gonna throw his hand away. He's willing to stick around and bat, even though he's not getting much runs.
We saw that in the last game as well. He was willing to hang around. Doesn't seem to be one that's going to just go in and give his hand away.
Yeah, well, you don't need to then more.
He's gonna have to work for his wicket.
Yeah,
he didn't see.
That's a big shot.
And the man, he's flicking one away over the
mid wicket
region, and he gets 4. Full toss, and he just came and just flicked it away over that vacant mid-wicket position and picked up a boundary. End of another over, 71 for 8.
Yeah, well played by Daniel Denmo. As I said, he's willing to stick around and see how much he can get, ones and twos. And in that case, just now he got a boundary.
Yeah, he got a loose delivery.
And he put it away for 4.
Put it away.
So I'd like to see impress upon him when he gets back to his hometown, to do some work on his strength. Make sure he gets some power if he's eligible for next time around, or even if he goes to the higher level. He should have some more strength that he can put a few more balls away. He looks pretty, competent.
I like his spirit.
Yeah, that's another great attribute about him.
I like his spirit.
He's always in
Stays
the
in
game.
the game.
Yeah, he's
Stays in the
always
game.
shouting. And that's a good attribute about him too.
Beaten by one day, Khalid Juman just pulling light brown forward and getting one to turn. Brown was looking to force it through the offside.
Yeah, you'll have to wait then until the ball is well over pitch or on their eyes.
A little bit more flight in this one. Brown is again looking to force it away. Rodri Daniel sees something, just wants to have a little chat with Light Brown.
Yeah, it's spinning across you, so you don't need to drive like that. Once you get on your front foot and it's spinning like that, then you don't need to drive. You've got to slip there waiting for you. So, you got to come on your front foot, watch it all the way, watch it spin across you.
Wide call, that one. Started wide and then turned even further. Umpire Fisher Holder.
Yeah, once you don't, throw your hand away, then you don't go after those wide deliveries, he'll have to bowl to you at some point. So you've got to force him to bowl straighter. Then you can probably drive straight down the ground.
Kelani Clark missing his half century by one run in that championship game. Barbados, they're now 101 for 3. They just lost another wicket. Seth Smith bowled. So a little bit of a fight back by the Jamaicans. 101 for 3 over there in Ball B.
Yeah, the end of the over there, then I think Brown is doing a good job. As I said, they're not scoring as much and as fast as you think, but at least they're putting up some fight, which is good to see.
At this stage, maybe not scoring as fast is not the order of the day. We just one more batter in the pavilion to come. And not too sure of Clark's batting ability. So I think this pairing would want to see how far they can get the Leeward Islands, maybe get up, as you say, get up to 100, see if that can even give them something to fight with. The Trinidadians would want to wrap things up though. Dan Raj continues. Ball is keeping low. And
yeah, that's going to be a dangerous shot to young Dan Raj.
yeah,
Trying to go square, you need to play more in front.
We're seeing Andre Daniel going away from what he was doing well. Was pushing forward. This time he was trying to go square. Dan Raj gets good support in the outfield. Naldo for Nyla.
Yeah, that's good to see him. Then we're still throwing his body around. A fast bowler at backward point.
Yep.
Diving and making a good save there.
Limiting the batters to just a single. Brown will get another single down to deep cover. There is a sweeper on the boundary. .74 for 8 in over number 21. So it has settled down a little bit in this match.
Yeah, this sort of batting is what we had needed to see from the Leewards at the top of the order. Then more batting sensibly, playing the balls on the merit.
I think wanting to score too quickly in the power play overs, the Leewards just lost their way and didn't assess the situation well.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong, trying to score quickly in the power play. Then, but after you've lost a wicket or two, you need to see a different approach.
First wicket went down at 33, then at 45. Then 46, 48, 49,
Yeah, you needed to pull yourself back.
49, 51, 63. So 11 runs so far by this pairing. Should be called wide, and is. Kadir Juman.
Yeah, then most changing of the fast bowlers didn't give you that
Yeah, the fast
amount of
bowlers
extras, but
didn't
the
give you the extras.
spinners are doing that now.
And the funny thing is that the spinners are bowling to tail enders.
Mm.
They should be in a situation where they should be feeling, you know what, we should be attacking the stumps a lot more. It's not as if they're being attacked.
Yeah, well, I think that he's still in that mode, thinking that he's bowling to the, top order batsman. And I must say that
Light Brown
Light Brown
is a good batter.
yeah, he's looking to get at that ball when it comes over pitch, so maybe that's what's causing it too. Oh, Daniel was down, couldn't get through
Yeah,
there
he
just now.
slipped as he got to that non-striker's end. Light Brown wanted a second one. That one was away from that fielder, out in the deep, having to do some work around, but just maybe slipping Andre Daniel. So they had to settle for just a run. More opportunity for a run here.
Yeah, that's the best place to be, Denmo. Opportunities will present themselves if you're there. If you're not, you'll never have that opportunity. You got to stay between those 6 stumps out there.
Can't make any runs from in the pavilion.
Yeah, most definitely not.
Juman still
Sweet.
trying, and Brown is forward and looking pleasant in driving, but drove it straight to the fielder. Tarek Richards in that extra cover region has been positive there. Guiding one and looking for a single that was non-existent was Light Brown, sent back by Andre Daniel, end of another over. The Leeward Islands is 77 for 8.
Yeah, as I said, they have been putting on a good show. They're not getting the sort of runs that, they were getting the top order, but at least they're still there and putting up a fight. At least they look like they understand what they're doing then more.
Yep,
In
these
terms of
two,
playing the spin.
the approach has been very positive and very good to see that they are reading what's taking place. They've been applying themselves, and it has looked to come on that front foot. Almost a naughty stroke there from Andre Daniel, one that was just making a little bit of height
Yeah,
from
that one
Danraj.
really bounced then more and turned. And that was the genuine leg break by the young Danraj.
Trying to reach for that one is Andre Daniel, playing it into the offside field. No run.
Yeah, I rather like his approach then where his head is well over the ball when he's going to look to drive it. So he's pretty keen on watching it, looks like.
Kane head over the ball and drive in, but again finds the fielder in that cover region.
Yeah, we'll need to see him work on his strength, then more work on his power. Not in sense of hitting the ball over the top, but you can hit it hard on the ground. Yeah, that's it.
He's
That's
driving
it,
hard and he's going to get a single. Hitting that one a little bit harder than we've seen him do any other.
Yeah, there's a player from Nevis then more by the name of Keith Aston. I remember playing in it with him for the Leeward senior team. And there are times when he drives, then more on the ground and no man move. Yeah, he was good at that, especially to the spinners. Whether he's going to drive from his crease or he's going to use his feet, he's, good at that. Finding the gaps.
Slight Brown continues to Battle, he's on 7. He's faced 30 deliveries, though. He wouldn't be worried about the number of deliveries that he's facing because his team is in trouble. And at the end of another over, the Leeward Islands, they are currently on 78 for 8. Daniel is on 8. Brown is on 7.
We're going to see young Pollard being introduced into the attack. Yeah, as I said, then more Daniel and Brown there showing that they have some sort of knowledge about spin bowling, so that's good to see.
Hayden Pollard is into the attack. Number 20 on his back. Short of a length delivery outside the line of the off stump. I don't know if he's bowling off spin.
It's not wide.
Wide outside the line of the off stump, not called wide by the umpire. She had a look at it. You could literally hear her brain thinking. Decided against opening those arms. Thought Caden Pollard got away with that one. This one a little bit closer. And he's recognized that. Umpire's giving me a little bit of leeway, so I'm using it. Caught behind. And Pollard gets his man. Edge found. And looks as if it's Rondre Daniel who goes thin edge found. Wicketkeeper taking the catch. Leeward Islands losing their 9th wicket. They are now 78 for 9. 78 for 9.
Yeah, Daniel just guilty of playing at one that's too wide there then more. And he had to go pot wicketkeeper Bowl Pollard.
So let's have a look at it again. Yeah, just looks as if he just got a thin edge. He looks straight down at the umpire, almost to say, did you hear that? They having a hydration break. Leeward Islands in deep trouble of being bowled out for under 100. We'll also take a short break. Leeward Islands, they're 78 for 9. Raheem Clark has come out for the Leeward Islands. He's the final batter for the Leeward Islands as the Leeward Islands they slide in. 78 for 9 in over number 24. So the Leeward Islands, they've had a terrible day in terms of their batting. This is Pollard. First delivery to Clark. Clark almost chopping that. Then there's a trouble here. But he was able to get back just for a moment. Light Brown and Raheem Clark were in trouble.
Yeah, then more that it's a terrible mix up there just now. Luckily for them, they managed to get back in.
Yeah, that would have been a terrible way for the Leeward Islands to end their innings.
Yeah, ball was thrown at the wrong end.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, so Pollard is bowling
And he's
medium
bowled
pace now.
by Raheem Clark. And is that the end of the innings? No? I thought that he might have missed that one, but it looked as if it went into the gloves of the wicket keeper. But Clark doesn't look as if he's come out to hang around.
Yeah, well, as you said, Denmo, he looks very much like a genuine tail ender here.
We've seen some from the Leeward Islands. You remember the last game, Challenger didn't look as if he could hold the bat too well. He came out, looked like a genuine number 11 batter. Clark has probably decided, you know what, things have already gone bad. I'm just going to have a swing. If I hit it, it hits. If I don't, I don't.
That should never be the intention, Denmo.
Never should be, because you have
See,
Light Brown on the other
changing
end.
bowler now.
Budu, the captain, is in and is more like a leg spinner. First delivery, driving and missing is Light Brown outside the line of the off stump. So we'll see how Light Brown goes about it now, if he's given a single, if he's going to take it to expose Clark. He takes the single of the second delivery and brings Clark onto strike. Trinidadians almost giving him that single on that occasion, 79 for 9.
Yeah, rightfully so, Denmo. Based on what he has been doing from the last over, they'll think they'll be better off bowling to him. Some
Clark takes his guard.
better candidate to get out quicker.
Coming forward and steering one into the offside field is Raheem Clark. Pitched up delivery from Brendan Budu. Short of a length. He's trying to squeeze it away. No run. Shaping up fairly okay.
Yes. Yeah, he looks pretty decent. At least in defense.
Takes a single.
Retains the strike.
Last ball of the over. Retains the strike. And Light Brown seems to have a lot
Confidence
of confidence in him,
Yeah.
because he's not looking very bothered to try and shield or farm the strike. 80 for 9 at the end of over number 25.
Yeah, it will be Pollard to continue.
Francis with a top score of 22. Janice Francis for the Leeward Islands. Wide delivery should be called wide as Pollard starts the new over. Richards got 19. And Francis had 4 fours in his knock of 22. Clark gets another single. So you can see why Light Brown is not minded to shield him. Looks pretty okay. Quicker delivery. Almost as if he's bowling a little bit of medium pace. Is
Basically bowling off cutters, it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Light Brown is just standing up and pushing one back. Aiden Pollard getting back to his mark very quickly. So saying Richards had 25 deliveries, hit a 4 and a 6. Tilokani was out for 4. They're going to get some runs here. This one is stayed down to a third man position. It's going to run pretty close to the boundary, just pulled up inside, and they are able to rush back for
3
runs. So 3 runs to
Yeah, I think
Light
it was
Brown.
partially stopped by the point fielder, knocked down a bit.
Jaheim Clark will face Caden Pollard. Wide delivery, called wide. So just 7 fours and 2 sixes in the Leeward Islands innings so far. A summary of what's taken place so far: 86 for 9, the Leeward Islands. So the end of the over has come up. Leeward Islands, they are 86 for 9. We're halfway stage of the innings. 20. Matter of fact, 26 overs
26
bowled
overs,
so
yeah.
far. So you've just gone past the halfway stage. Viewers with still 24 overs to go, but they're down to their final pairing in Jaheim Clark and Light Brown. Budu is in again and pulling. Pulling Brown forward. This one is worked away into the leg side. Get another run. Run number 88.
I think they actually got 2 from that one then, no?
Yeah, seems that way.
Yeah.
Light Brown still trying to push forward, still trying to get on that front foot for the spinners, making sure he smothers any spin that is.
Yeah, he's handling it pretty well then, no? I'm impressed.
Looks a
with
good
him.
player of
Yeah.
spin. He's hitting one in the air. Could this be a catch? And it's taken. So we were just saying that he was looking good. Then he got one that was flighted, tried to go over the top, gave his hand away. And just how the Leeward Islands innings has gone today, with players giving their hand away. Light Brown does the same. He goes for 13, and the Leeward Islands, they're all out for 88 in 26.4 overs. A really, really dismal showing by the Leeward Islands in terms of their batting today.
There's a very poor display of batting, by the Leewards. Then I thought they'd actually come out and put up a better fight in terms of trying to, make a good score of it and try to put forward third place
So it means
in
that the
this competition.
Trinidadians, they will have 50 overs to try and make 89 runs if they're going to achieve victory over the Leeward Islands today and be the third place team in this year's CWI Rising Star Under 19 tournament. Let me just give you the Leeward Islands scorecard. Tannes Francis was caught Budu of Funaila for 22. Edward Richards was caught Lala of Holder for 19. Kunal Tilakani was caught Ramcharan of Funaila for 4. Jake Nathanes caught Ramanan of Funaila for 3. Matthew Miller was caught Ramanan of Funaila for 2. Amri Jones was caught Bandu of Danraj without scoring. Lashon Bergan was bowled by Danraj without scoring. Light Brown, the last man to go for 11. Jayton Edwards was caught on bowled Juman for 9. Randre Daniel was caught Ramanan of Pollard for 8. Jaheim Clark is left not out. Not out. He is not out on 2. The Leeward Islands 88 all out. Bowling for Trinidad and Tobago, Daniel Holder, 5 overs, no maidens, 30 runs, 1 wicket. Ronaldo Fornila, 6 overs, no maidens, 26 runs, 4 wickets. Darren Danrod, 7 overs, 1 maiden, 14 runs, 2 wickets. Kadir Juman, 5 overs, no maidens, 8 runs, 1 wicket. Caden Pollard had 2 overs, 1 maiden, 6 runs, 1 wicket. And Brendan Budu in his second over, 2 runs coming from his bowling, and he got that final wicket. Leeward Islands 88 all out. Dave, your thoughts on how the Leeward Islands approached the batting this morning? It was a disappointing way to see them the way that they approached the batting.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing. I thought I'd see some better displays, even, some players looking to try to get some personal, scores and targets, being achieved, but it didn't look that way. They looked like they weren't keyed in at all today to come out and play.
So we're going to take a short break. We'll join you back in about 5 or so minutes when the Trinidadians will have a reply. Remember, they need 89 for victory, having bowled out the Leeward Islands for just 88 runs. So we'll take a short break from Bethesda, and when we have the Trinidad reply, we'll be back with you. And so we're back here at Bethesda, a sunlit day, and we're seeing that the Trinidad and Tobago and Leeward Islands game. Trinidad and Tobago bowling out the Leeward Islands today for 88 runs, so they need 89 of 50 overs. And we see the Trinidad and Tobago openers in Lal and Ghani out there in the middle. Christian Lal and Levi Ghani, the two openers for Trinidad and Tobago, out in the middle. And they'll be hoping that they can have a good opening partnership and probably look to get to this total in quick time. But there ain't no rush. They only need to get to 89 runs if they're going to have victory. They have all of 50 overs to bat. So we'll see what the approach is.
Well, for sure, then more I know that the Trinidadians are gonna definitely want to ensure they get third place, so they're gonna play playing seriously and properly. You know,
Shaheem Clark, though, will have other ideas. He'll be hoping that, like for Nyla, for the Trinidad, who got 4 wickets, bowling pace, that he can have a similar type situation. Did you see anything in the pitch, maybe, that should have caused the Leeward Islands to capitulate for this small score?
not at all. Then more.
Yeah.
There was no depth. It was just a matter of shot selection. Very poor shot selection.
Clark's first delivery is steered into the offside, and immediately off the mark is Christian Lal, just chopping it into the offside field and taking off and getting a single. I think maybe the Leeward Islanders, like we were saying, didn't assess the situation. The pitch didn't come on as fast as it did in the last game they would have played here. And I feel that they were probably just looking to force the issue. You could see people going for big shots, trying to go over the top.
Yeah, well, it's obvious then more they did not assess it from the toss, because it seems like there was a bit of moisture in the pitch. So that had the ball not coming through, stopping. Let's see if it starts to come on a little better now. Looks
But
so from the first delivery,
yeah,
though.
it has been rolled. And so Levi Ghani is there. 0-5 on his back.
Yeah, even the field placement here then left a lot to be desired of. They've got fine leg and deep backwards back, so it looks like he's going to be bowling short. I would rather see the third man
Third
being
man,
down on
yeah.
the boundary and then bowl outside the off stump.
Ghani getting on top of one. And Sal got 18 and Ghani got 47. They played each other on Monday. And the funny thing is, in this round, all the teams that played each other on Monday ended up playing each other again in this round of the competition. So Ghani gets off the mark with his first one, steering one down to third man. So Lala got 18, Ghani got 47. Captain only got 14, 48 from Ramcharam. But it was Tariq Richards who got 88 in that run chase that really changed things for the Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad getting to 273 for 6 in reply to the 270 for 9 made by the Leeward Islands in that match. Today the Leeward Islands only getting to 88 all out. Al on the back foot, trying to
Yeah, as I said, the assessment needs to be done then more in terms of the young players, and that's something they need to work on. As I say, I think the Leeward's bowlers here haven't seen what happened in the first innings, which when they batted, you need to just come and not look for pace, just put the ball on a spot because that worked well.
Those good areas.
Yeah, that worked well for the Trinidad Pacers.
Trying to bowl
Well,
a little bit of pace.
he has some pace.
Clark,
yeah.
One hammered into the pitch, coming through to Richards, who's wicket keeping today for the Leeward Islands. End of over number 1. Trinidad and Tobago off and running. 3 without loss. We're told that they're going to play up until 20 past 1. You would think that if an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes or so, hour and 25 minutes, maybe should be enough for the Trinidadians to probably go past that 88 made by the Leeward Islands. But like I said, they would be in no rush. Just wondering what the discussion was about there. Matthew Miller is going to open the ball in for the Leeward Islands. Didn't feature with the bat today, Matthew Miller.
Then more, I think I was watching a bit of the game, the last game they played, Leewards, down at Ball Beef, and the slips, setting of the slips, which is something you saw from the West Indian team.
Very wide.
Very wide, and
slip.
balls going between keeper and
that first slip
and
there.
it's still being set very wide here. I don't know why.
And we saw that Trinidad in their innings had the slip in the conventional.
It has to be regular.
Yeah. And as Francis guided one straight into his hand. And he been set like how the Leeward Islands are
gone for 4.
Gone for 4.
So. I don't think the Leewards will be looking to or thinking they can, contain these guys. So they need to get some people in the right place in the catching position and try to get a few wickets.
If they don't get any wickets, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Need to get a few people in catching position and then take some wickets.
Beaten outside the off stump. Lal just looking a little bit hesitant in playing at that one.
Yeah, it's not going to just happen then. We've got to make something happen. So you've got to create something here.
Down the leg side, called wide. Lal went at that one, was trying to help it away over the leg side field. Called wide by umpire Afisha Holder. Holder and Tremaine Prescott doing this match. Banged in short. White called by the umpire.
That's the ones you don't have then where you don't need to bowl that length. I'd rather see them putting in 2 slips and, try to bowl a fuller length. Try to get a 1 or 2 batsmen out. Then you can probably put some pressure on the TNT batters.
You help them with those types of deliveries, they're going to get to this total very quickly. outside the line of the off stump, just playing inside the line. This time is Lal, Christian Lal. And we also have Levi Ghani, who is opening for Trinidad. So they need 84 runs off 291 deliveries. So they can literally walk this home today. It's a good afternoon to my friends down there in Trinidad and Tobago. I have a friend there called Rodfin Harris. He's in the Army of Trinidad and Tobago. Was a very good football referee. Also have one there that is called Kevin. Good morning to Kevin Lewis down there in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Kevin is listening because he's supposed to be doing some work for me down there. Haven't heard from him in a while. I'll have to find out if he's forgotten me. Hello to all the folks in the referee department down there in Trinidad and Tobago around the football era. Folks that I would have interacted with over a period of time. This one is coming on to Christian Lal a little bit faster maybe than he thought. He was looking to turn it on the onside. The ball left the bat in the air but falling safely on the leg side to end over number 2. Needing 89 for victory. Trinidad and Tobago on the 19. They are 5 without loss after over number 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking then. More if you're gonna be pulling those short balls, as I say, you've got to get the players in the right place. At least try to get a one, with or two. So you're gonna be bowling short. You can't just have the men, back on the boundary. You've got to look to get him in a catching position.
Certainly. And yesterday we got news of the funeral plans for the late Sir Garfield Sobers. Next week, Wednesday, we understand they're going to have a state funeral for him over there in Barbados, starting at 10 a.m. That's Ghani who's driving, gets it out to a deep square leg, and they're able to rush back for 2 runs. Maybe not as in control as you wanted it to be there. Levi Ghani got good bat onto it, picking up 2 more runs. Driven into the offside field by Trinidad and Tobago right-handed opening batter. He's pulling this one into the mid-wicket region again, not timing it, so just a run. This will be the first time Trinidad and Tobago playing on this grounds in this tournament. Their matches were spread between Liberta and Coolidge. I think they might have had one match up at Pickett's as well. Hammered into the pitch by Clark, called wide by umpire Prescott.
Yeah, as I said, then more bowling these short pitch deliveries, you're just getting them closer to the total. So you've got to make up your mind. Unless they've made up their minds, they want to go quickly.
I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Clark is getting his man, and Trinidad and Tobago loses their first wicket. Christian Lal getting one on the line of the stumps and just turned it into that man at that straight mid-wicket position. Easy catch taken. First wicket down for Trinidad and Tobago. They're now 9-4-1.
Yeah, that's it. Then we have got a bowl of fuller length. And you see where you get some results when you bowl a bit fuller. So the length has got to be a bit fuller. And I think they're needing to put it, just outside half stump.
Yeah, just a little bit fuller.
Yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago batter there. Not handling that very well. Soft dismissal. 9-4-1.
Yeah, the thing is pretty simple, Denmo. You've seen the TNT bowlers bowl. So first up, you'd have to come out and try to bowl exactly what they did. And if it doesn't work for you, then you go to another plan. So they bowl full, just outside half stump.
They bowl full, they bowl straight.
Straight, just on about the half stump or the about, and they got success. Especially from this end, Denmo.
Certainly. This is the end where Fornila got his 4 wickets from. So Clark getting a wicket from the opposite end, but he wouldn't mind.
Yeah, but the length is what's going to do it for you on the line, Denmo.
Trinidad and Tobago captain in Brendan Boodoo coming out. He has Brendan on his shirt. Gets a Yorker length delivery and squeezes it out. And luckily that one came down to fine leg in a rocket for 4. But that was a quick delivery from Clark. Fired in at the stumps. And Boodoo did well to survive.
Yeah, I was just about to tell you then more that Clark has some pace. But having pace doesn't mean you have to bowl short.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bowl, length balls that are pretty quick too. And even that one, that was a Yorker length
It's a Yorker length delivery.
that had some pace in it.
Had some pace, and it came down to that fine leg region because there's a field at fine leg, but he just came across to his right to retrieve. And this one is now going to come down to third man for a boundary. So 2 boundaries in a row on either side of the wicket. The first one, a Yorker length delivery that fortuitously the Brendan Boodoo got a 4, but this one was outside the off stump and deliberately just going hard at that one, hitting it into the ground and down to a vacant third man position for 4.
Yeah, 2 4s in the over. And as you said, Boodoo wouldn't mind. He's on to 8 in a flash.
17 for 1. And I'm sure Captain Brendan Boodoo is thinking, you know what? Let's not just hang about with this. Get as close as possible to the total in as quick as possible at a time, and sort of knock the wind out of the Leeward Islands. Because if we hang around, maybe a couple of wickets could fall. We could put some pressure back on ourselves. Matthew Miller is starting with a wide down the leg side. Was trying to York Levi Garney, but got his radar incorrect. The ball going by. So 1 more to the total. 18 for 1. See some of the fans coming by. And if he's late, he would have missed the Leeward Islands bat. Because the Leeward Islands were bowled out for 88 runs.
Yeah, well,
He shakes his head and says, oh boy.
Very late if you wanted to see the
Yeah,
Leeward's
he's
bat.
very late if he wanted to see the Leeward's bat. Short delivery outside the line of the off stump. Thought of pulling and then pulled out of the shot Levi Garney. Score remains at 18 for 1. And so the fans are just wondering, what am I going to do this afternoon? I told the wife I'm going to watch cricket. My intention was to stay all day. No, I might have to go back home a little bit earlier than I thought. Miller. That's the kind of line that Miller wants to bowl, just on or about that off stump.
Yeah, but then if he's gonna bowl that line, you need to bring that man in from backward square, push back the third man, and then continue to bowl that line.
I think that would be a better feel,
Yeah, better plan for the
better
Leewards at
plan
this
for the
point.
Leeward Islands. I would also love to see that man slip going to the conventional position because for me, he's just staying in no man's land.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a new day thing.
This one is short and he's getting it over that long on region for 4.
Hmm.
So it was banged into the pitch, ball not coming on, and Trinidad and Tobago player.
Yeah, that was a good shot then, Mo. He actually waited on it.
Yep. And
It was actually slowing coming out of the pitch.
deliberately hitting it over the top of
Yeah.
that mid-on fielder.
Good shot.
Always safe. Down to the boundary for 4.
He's gone caught
He's
behind
gone
now.
caught behind, looking to pull a short delivery, and the ball looks as if it took him on the glove. Catch taken by Richards behind the stumps, and Trinidad and Tobago losing Levi Ghani, and they are now on 22 for 2. So the Leeward Islands getting their second wicket, and the short ball. Maybe the Leeward Islands know that these Trinidad and
Yeah, it
Tobago
seems like they
batters
know something about these
are
players.
not
then
quite
Mo.
comfortable with the short delivery.
But then if you notice the height of this one was different than the others, and it's going to be,
Much
hard
better
work
height,
and
much
hard work
better
to get
height,
it up at that height,
and was
consistently.
on the line of his body, and Ghani was just trying to get out of the way. When we look at it, yeah, it's sort of almost trying to get out of the way and still hooking at the same
Yeah,
time.
I think he was caught in two minds.
Yeah.
Didn't want to play and then still had to, found the ball right up on him.
Taken on the glove, caught
Yeah.
behind, and Trinidad and Tobago losing their second wicket, and they are now on to 22 for 2. So we see Ethan Ramcharan going out to join Brendan Boodoo.
Yeah, then Leeward seems to has come alive. They're chirping up quite a bit more now.
That's what wicket does. A wicket
Yeah.
does for you. And getting 2 wickets in quick succession. Leeward Islands would feel they could, at least in theory, put the Trinidadians under some pressure. Ramcharam got 48 in the last match. Coming at number 4 for Trinidad. So, seems to be one of the better players for the Trinidad and Tobago team. Ethan Ramcharam, Tariq Richards to come next. They're possibly 2 of the players that the Leeward Islands would love to get early wickets. Get out early and see if they can reverse some of the pressure here on the Trinidad and Tobago batters. Matthew Miller still persisting with those short deliveries. That one didn't get up as much as he wanted. Brendan Boodoo just pulling out of that shot, and total remains on 22 for 2. Remember, the Trinidad and Tobago, they need to get to 89 for victory of their 50 overs, bowling out the Leeward Islands today for 88. So they need 67 runs from 276 balls. When last we heard, the Barbadians, they are doing a little bit of a rebuilding. They're now 159 for 4 in over number 33. Hima Dixon and Justin Paris trying to do the repair work for the Barbados on the 19 in that one against the Jamaicans. And the Windward Islands have Guyana in a spot of bother. They're 77 for 5 Guyana, batting first. One of our fans was telling me, Dave Joseph, via WhatsApp, that they think Dan Raj is the son of the Dan Raj that we know.
Okay, that's good to know. Cricket in the blood.
Yeah, we'll try and definitely verify maybe with one of the Trinidad crew here next close to us. But that was sent to me via WhatsApp. Somebody that's listening said it's his son. Good when you see players and their children following suit, coming through in the sporting arena.
Yeah.
Doesn't always happen that way, though.
Not really.
Children tend to have a mind of their own. Oh, a quick delivery. Short delivery again. And from Clark, Ethan Ramcharam pulling out of that one.
Yeah, that was quick then more.
And Richards and Co. They're just trying to talk into the ear of the Trinidad and Tobago player. Ramcharam with a broad smile on his face, as Richards was probably asking him if he knew how that leather smelt. Flashing and flashing hard for 4. They say when you flash hard, and he really flashed hard at that one, and it flew over the top of.
Yeah, one thing I know then more you need to bowl straight. You know, having bowled that short ball, you need to bowl straight.
That one was outside the.
Gave him too much width to free his arms.
Line of the off stump, and Rondre Daniel only had to go and retrieve. He's now pushing him back on that third man boundary, something you've been calling for all day. He's driving and a little bit of misfeel, and he's going to get a boundary.
Yeah, that was a
Went
good
to
shot.
Tanis Francis, who's in that extra cover region.
Yeah, that was an excellent drive.
Francis couldn't deal with the heat of that one. It got past him. And once it gets past you, hit that hard.
Yeah, this is good cricket then where he's fighting fire with fire.
Yep, so.
Yeah.
A little bit of a fight fire with fire. The Leeward's trying to bounce out Ramcharam, and he's fighting back with a little bit of an aggressive, 2 aggressive strokes. Clark with a full toss, and this time they can't score. It's quickly on to Ethan Ramcharam, and he was trying to force that one through the offside.
What I like about Clark then was he's looking to strive for that Yorker line delivery most of the times. And he has been bowling pretty quick.
Has been bowling pretty quickly. We've seen some good pace from some of these young fast bowlers. Looking to cut that one square was Ramcharam. Looks annoyed with himself having missed out at that one, but that came through with good pace, good bounce, good carry through to wicketkeeper Richards to end another over. 5 overs gone. Trinidad and Tobago, they need 89 for victory. They are 31 for 2.
Yeah, seeing good Good pace by young Clark. I'm surprised we haven't seen him earlier. Then we're playing for the Leewards a bit earlier, a couple more games. He looked to be one of the quickest we have seen on show.
Saw very good pace as well from the Barbados opening bowler, the left armer. Remember, he really bowled quickly against the Jamaicans. The Jamaicans didn't want to have anything at all to do with him. Remember him hitting Godson or Tyler Gordon Jr. Tyler Gordon Jr. in his helmet, crashing one into his helmet. He was clearly shaken up. This one is struck away in the air, but it's going to fall safely in the mid-wicket region. They're going to get two. And Matthew Miller continues with his attack using the short deliveries to the Trinidad and Tobago players. I think you would have recognized from the last game, maybe the Trinidadians are a little bit suspect with the short bowling, so they're trying to see how. And this one is right up to the right-handed Brendan Boodoo and just plays it quietly into the offside field for a single. Looked very steady, very balanced in that stroke there, Brendan Boodoo.
Yeah, then where you said they might have detected, the Trinidad players not being able to play the short pitch well, but they've come in only two pacers, so I'm not thinking that way like them. I don't think they're thinking that way at all.
Well, based on how Matthew Miller is bowling, he's decided that he wants to use the short route against the Trinidad and Tobago. But when I looked at it this morning, I was just wondering what was the plan with the Leeward Islands, because they just seem to have stacked up the team with a lot of batters and have just employed the two persons we see FB beside, which is Clark and Miller. I was saying that they didn't even leave anything to chance. So I was wondering who, if they needed a third seamer, who might that be? Maybe with Tannis Francis not
keeping
today.
Looking to him to do some
They were
bowling.
looking to him to do a little bit of medium pace bowling. Another one for the Trinidad and Tobago captain. He goes to 12, the total on now to 36 for 2 at the end of over number 6. So they just need 1.2 runs per over from here on in for victory. The Trinidad and Tobago, they're trying to get to 89. Leeward's bowled out for 88 today. Clark continues to bowl from that northern end. Try and bowl as quickly as he can.
Yeah, he has bowled with good pace then more since he has begun.
53 runs needed, 44 overs to go. They're going to get some more runs here. This one is helped down to that fine leg region with the fine leg up. Leg by signaled by the umpire, but it is strayed onto that leg stump and probably just taking the pad on the way through. Have a look. Yeah, just taking the pad and going past Eric Richards and running down to the third man region for 4 leg buys.
Yeah, I think then we could come back in a conventional, fine leg. Even though you're going to keep that man on the boundary, the back was square, but anything goes just past the wicketkeeper is going to be 4.
Trinidad and Tobago batter is driving beautifully through the offside before.
That's the captain, Bodu. Excellent shot. Through
Goes
the
up to
covers.
Budu and he pressed that one past a diving Tanis Francis and into that deep extra cover boundary for 4. Getting one down to the third man region. Leg by is the signal.
Yeah, then Mo Clark is actually getting to the batters quicker than they're thinking. He has beaten him for pace just now.
And especially when he pitches the ball up.
Up, yeah.
Back just picking one up and firing it back at the
Yeah, quite ridiculous again than what we've seen, Batter still in his crease, that move and you're trying to run him out. I don't know why.
Not what we want to see.
Nope.
Want the game to continue to be played in a
good spirit.
In a manner. We want you to play tough. We want you to be on your A game, but we don't want players hurting each other unnecessarily. I'm not sure what Clark was throwing that at, but these players need to focus a little bit more. Miller is forward, and that could have been a little bit of danger had that been a direct hit.
Yeah, once the hit would have been look like a goner from here.
Because
see all the fielders throwing their hands in the air.
Yep, Budu looked as if he was struggling to get into his crease there. They were committed to the run. I didn't think a run was on because it was going
straight to the man, Tanis Francis.
Francis picked up cleanly and had a throw at the stumps, but just didn't hit. Had he hit, that would have definitely been the end of Budu. They're going to get another single as the ball is driven out into the onside Rondre Daniel, eventually knocking it down at that mid-on position. 47 for 2 with over number 8. So they're more than halfway there now. The Trinidad and Tobago team, they need 42 runs to complete the victory. If you're joining me and said, then if they're on 47, how come they need 42 runs? Because Leeward's only made 88 this morning. So Trinidad and Tobago need to get to 89 for victory. It's been a good tournament. This Rising Star under 19, we've seen some talent come through. We've also seen some players that would need to go back to their territory and do a lot of work.
Yeah, quite
I'm
a bit of
hoping
talent has come and showed them more.
Yep, I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the coaches would have been taking copious notes. Short and leaves the bat in the air. The shots
Wow.
of Chitan. Again, fired return.
Looks like they had a chance there to run him out then more.
Bergen thought he had an opportunity. Because the Trinidadians, I think they belatedly took off for that single. No damage done in the end. They were able to make their grounds. This one is hitting it in the air. There's an opportunity for a catch, and it's taken. So Ramcharam gives his hand away, and the Leeward Islands getting a third wicket. Trinidad and Tobago losing another wicket. They are now 48 for 3. And Ethan Ramcharam, I thought, giving his hand away. We're going to have a hydration break. And when we come back, of course, let's just have a look again. Ramcharam getting a delivery that he just had a swipe at that one, went high up into the air, and the catch eventually taken. Is that Tanis Francis?
Yes, it is.
Francis. Important to put your better fielders in the areas that you need them, and no doubt Trinidad and Tobago losing their third wicket, a 48 for 3. Let's take a hydration break, and we'll be right back. So the players have hydrated themselves, and the new batter for Trinidad and Tobago is the left-hander who has come out to join his captain, Brendan Boodoo. .48 for 3. Matthew Miller to continue to the new batter. Starts with a short, wide delivery. Just ducking out of the way and allowing it to go by.
Well, then we'll be interested to see what the Leewards, what plan they'll have after these two bowlers have been finished the quarter.
Tariq Richards is the batter who is there. He got runs in the last game, 88. Almost dragging one onto his stumps from outside the off stump. Going at that one, trying to force it through the offside. Thick inside edge found. Ball going down to that fine leg position. He survives. End of over number
8.
49 for 3. So we're still inside the power play. 2 overs to go in the power play. Just 40 runs needed. 252 deliveries still to go. Clark is continuing. And this one is a poor delivery that is hit away. It was fired at the leg stump, and Brendan Boodoo was quick onto that one, getting it into that square leg region for 4.
Yeah, good shot. Then more. As I say, it's loose into the leg stump and you just waited in it and clipped it away. Yeah.
Clipped it away. Past that man who was at short fire leg to his left. And he ran down to a deep square leg position for 4 runs. He's this time playing it beautifully through the offside for 4.
Yeah, excellent stuff. By Boodoo, he's showing a bit of class then more. He's not afraid.
Boodoo got on top of that one, Dave, and he played that one sweetly.
Spunked the way through the covers. Good shot.
Just have a look at it. Didn't have to move.
Yeah, the outfield is pretty quick then. Once they get it in the gap here, it's going to be runs.
And that one went into the gap and went over the outfield very quickly.
Yeah, as I said, Clark, if you're going to be bowling, you can't give, the batters this sort of width.
8 runs off of his first 2 deliveries.
You got to bowl a bit straighter than that. Yeah, that's the line. That's the line.
That's the line. That's the length. Want to bowl that hard length and not allowing the batters to free their arms.
Right. After bowling that now, then you got to look at consistency. Because I get the impression that Trinidad and Captain Boodoo he knows he's going to get something loose then more. So he's just
waiting for it.
Waiting for it, sticking around, which is a good thing to do. If you're going to give me something, I'll just wait for it.
He's again getting a poor delivery and same treatment, getting it down to that fine leg region for 4. So Clark losing his way. Right now, we'll be looking for probably looking for pace and strain, and the mood that Budu is in, he's not going to miss out on any of those. The captain has called Rondre Daniel up into the circle and has sent that man back at
Then we're better
fine
off
leg.
bringing the man from the back of square in. Why would you want to be bowling short?
And again, this one is played well, but it finds the fielder on the edge of the 30-yard circle, so he can't score. At this stage, you have anything to work with in terms of runs. So you are correct, that man. We haven't seen any ball really go to him on that deep square leg boundary.
Yeah, well, the balls
Almost
that have been pulled that are
almost an
hooked at whatever
encouragement. Yep,
stay more in front of square.
almost an encouragement for bad bowling.
Yeah, so you need to make an adjustment.
This time, he's playing it with softer hands, and they're able to get a single. Tanis Francis is in, quickly just flicking the ball at that non-striker's end, where the batters were able to rush through for a run. Budu is on 30 off 20. Tariq Richards yet to score. Trinidad and Tobago after 9 overs, they're 62 for 3.
Then more, I must say that Anis Francis has been quite a utility player. He's done well with the gloves, with the bat, and now he's in the field
In the
without the
field,
gloves. He's doing
and he
pretty
looks
well.
a good fielder.
He looks he looks sharp.
Looks pretty sharp
Yeah.
in the field. So they tend to say that when you are like a good batter, you tend to be a good cricketer overall.
Yeah, well, he looks pretty keyed in.
And
He's pretty.
he's looks as if he's having fun. Matthew Miller bowls a slow delivery to the Trinidad and Tobago captain, Budu, and he's covering up, playing it with defensive bat. As we're into the last of the power play overs, 62 for 3. Some of the fans that would have come out and watched this tournament here at Bethesda Liberta Pickets and up at Coolidge. Swan is getting it, scraped the wicket, it left the bat in the air, but it's going to race away down to that backward point boundary for 4.
Yeah, then more that was a bit uppish, but he's getting 4 for it. And he'll take it.
He'll take it. It
Yeah,
left
most
the bat in the
definitely.
air, but it was away from the fielder at that point position. It went more backward of point. And once it got past Jake Nathanes, who is in that position, it ran away down to that wide backward point boundary for 4. Outside the off stump, trying to force it away was the Trinidad and Tobago captain, not making contact. 66 for 3 in over number 10.
Then more, we're yet to see them scoring any runs straight down the ground. So, as I
They
said,
haven't been
the
much.
line.
They haven't been the line. The Leewards haven't bowled any line that is forcing them to play straight.
Yeah, so they'll need to bowl that line and see what happens.
It's a good delivery from Matthew Miller. Going past the edge of Brendan Budu's bat. He's on to 35. 23 runs needed for Trinidad and Tobago achieve victory. Another run for the Trinidad and Tobago team as they're looking to end the power play. Hoping not to lose any more wickets. Tariq Richards, who batted well in the last game. These two teams met on Monday over at Ball Beef in Liberta. So this is for third and fourth. First and second is being played over there in Ball Beef. And out at Pickett's, they're playing for fifth and sixth. Jumping inside and allowing one to go by, not called wide by umpire official holder. The power play has come to an end. 67 runs scored in the 10 overs by the Trinidad and Tobago team. They're trying to get to 89 for victory. Let's bring you up to date in over number 39. Barbados, they're 189 for 4. Score has now moved on to 191 for 4 after 39 overs. Sikima Dixon is on 40 and Justin Paris on 45 as they have a little bit of a recovery there for the Barbados team. And no doubt Barbados will probably be hoping to push in that last 11 overs, maybe get a score that will make it very difficult for the Jamaicans to defeat them. I think the Barbadians, they have been the better team in this competition, if we're honest.
Yeah, most definitely. Then more they've looked, a couple of notches up above the other teams that we have seen.
And Guyana, they are 109 for 5. Wide delivery to start as we see spin.
Tanis
Looks to be
Francis.
Tanis Francis who's bowling the spin from that far end. Guided away, but can't beat the infield.
Athens has been
Athens
pretty sharp to
is
all tournament.
in that position. There are some days that you look at Athens and you wonder if he's in the game. Has a different type of personality sometimes. You would have worked with him. This one is driven over the top of extra cover for 4. Is he as a
Good shot.
reserve as he appears sometimes?
No, I think he likes the ball coming to him. If you find the ball is not coming to him, he's gonna find himself in a lull.
Sort of zone out
Yeah,
of the
zone
game.
out, yeah. Yeah, he likes to know the ball is coming to him. There's some players like that, like to feel the ball, whether it's batting or in the field.
Like to be in
the game,
the do,
yeah.
as we would say. Trinidad and Tobago continue to march towards victory here. Umpires told us that we were going to play until 1:23 minutes to 1 by my watch. So 23 minutes to go. And the Trinidadians look as if they want to try and overhaul this 88 before the luncheon interval. We'll see what happens. Francis continues. And again, going square of the wicket is Brendan Boudou, but hitting it straight to the fielder. Tanis, that's Jaco Nathanez. And end of Tanis Francis's first over. At the end of it, 72 for 3 in reply to 88 all out made by the Leeward Islands, as we can look on and see the summary so far. 4 wickets for Ronaldo, for Naila.
Miller is going to continue.
At this stage, I don't think that he has a choice.
Hmm.
Yeah, he would have to bowl as many.
I'd rather see him coming from around the wicket, though. Then more. Last time we saw him. He came around the wicket and he presented some problems for the Windward Islands left-handers.
He did.
Yeah, so Maybe you should try a few from around the wicket. See what happens. I think he's been pretty predictable now, then more.
Yeah.
You gotta change the length.
Tariq Richards gets off the mark. He's been very short.
Yeah.
And I think the Trinidadians
I've been
recognize
hanging around on the
he's
back foot.
trying to
Yeah.
do. So they've been hanging around, waiting for those short deliveries on their back foot.
Mm.
We saw Tariq Richards getting on top
Top of
and
it. Yeah.
pulling it down.
Yeah, and the chuck is a bit slow to Denmore.
Not as quick as we would have seen.
Yeah, thanks.
Trinidadians continue to just inch away at this total, 74 now for 3. So that's 15 runs needed for victory. Leeward Islands just didn't bat well today at all, and far too many of their players just gave their hands away. And Tariq Richards is going to just get another run as Matthew Miller continues to hammer the ball into the pitch. And he's been very predictable now for the Trinidad and Tobago players.
Yeah, if you're going to be bowling, then where you want to be unpredictable, makes it more difficult for the batters.
Swan is down the leg side and not taken at all by wicketkeeper Richards. They come through for a bye. $76 for 3. Matthew Miller is going to now
From around the
change to
wicket.
around the wicket, something you've been suggesting that he did, or that he does, and he's doing it now.
Gets the ball to really dart back in at the left-handers from around here, so he should have, gone to that plan earlier.
First delivery around the wicket, and reaching for it is Tariq Richards, not timing it, just hitting it out to Tanis Francis at that mid-off position, no run.
Yeah, I think even if he's going to bowl a short ball from around here, Denmore is going to be more of a bother to the Trinidad and batters, in particular Richards coming into him. Yeah.
Hammered one into the pitch and into the pull shot is Tariq Richards. Hits it out to that fielder who is deep on the boundary.
End of the over for Miller.
Just a single. So Miller is overcome to an end. $77 for 3. 2 for 25. Matthew Miller off of his 6 overs. Francis is going to continue. His first delivery to Tariq Richards is played defensively. Going over number 13. Richards reaching and driving for a single out into the offside. As Tanis Francis is coming around the wicket to the left-handed. Richards looks as if he's going to go over to Brendan Bandu, who's played well for his 41 runs so far. Brendan Bandu on strike. 78 for 3. He's going to get another single. Again, recognizing that Clark, who is in that cover region, is a right-hander. It was going to his left, so the single was always on because you'd have to run around that ball and pick up and then throw. He got into the crease comfortably. This time they can't score. This ball dropping on the onside. 79 for 3. Outside the line of the leg stump is called through. Tariq Richards for a run. Leg by signal. He was looking to really swing that one somewhere far out of the ground. The ball went into the pads. And they're able to just scramble through for another run. End of another over. End of it. Needing 89 for victory. Trinidad and Tobago, they are 80 for 3.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here now then more in terms of Vela, if he's going to continue or he's going to come on. Daniel's going to come into the action then more.
So Andre Daniel is coming on from this end with his spin bowling. Starts with a full toss. Easy run for left-handed Tariq Richards.
Yeah, I think Hannes needs to save one if he's going to be in that position. Then we can't be giving away one. You've got in a position to stop that single, force them to go over the top.
Pretty deep, and going over the top is the right-handed Brendan Boudou, and he gets a boundary into that foul corner region, as we call it, wide long on region, and a good shot.
Yeah, I think he was well placed. Then more got it into the gap, over the top, and sped away for 4. Down to, as I said, cow corner.
Andre Daniel starts and stops. As Brendan Boudou is on 46 not out. 4 runs needed now for the Trinidad and Tobago team to achieve victory. Boudou is brought on the front foot by a better delivery from Andre Daniel. Flighting one to Boudou. Boudou looking to go square of the wicket. It's straight to the fielder. No run. He's hitting it hard, but straight to Tanner Francis at mid-on, no run. Get an easy single, guiding one down into short third man region. So now just walking it home, the Trinidad and Tobago team. 86 for 3. So that's 3 runs needed.
Yeah, but Bodo is looking to get a half century out of it.
Bodo would be hoping that he can get to that half century.
Yeah. Hope his teammate will allow him to get to that half century. It would be a good landmark for him.
The thing is, he's on strike, so he
can get
look
it, yeah.
to get it. Tanner Francis is going to continue from that northern end. A boundary would do it for Budu, would get him to his half century and get his team victory. 86 for 3. He waits as Tanner Francis is just making sure. Steering one into the offside field, no run. Steered away into the offside field again by Budu, no run. A little bit of a quicker delivery there from Francis. Another run for Budu. Gets his 48th run. Tyrick Richards' face, and he's just forward and plays it quietly. Looks as if he's cued in that he's just going to block
see it
at
out,
his end
and let
and
his
give
captain
his
get a
captain the
half century.
opportunity to get to that half century. 2 runs needed. 2 runs for the captain to get to a half century as well. Tanner Francis bowling a wide on that occasion. Remember something like this happened with Pollard in a game. He bowled a couple of wides to stop a batter from getting to a half century in a losing cause. Not sure if Francis is thinking the same way. He tried to bowl one wide and Tariq Richards getting right out to it and having the presence of mind to play it. No run.
Well, you just didn't want it to go for a wide then more, so make sure you tap the bat on it. But I think that Tannis needs to, not fall in that vein in terms of bowling wides, and not just, play decent cricket.
Yeah, you hope that he plays decent cricket from here. 88 for 3, the scores are leveled. Francis firing one in And playing defensively is Tariq Richards, giving his captain the opportunity to be on strike for the start of the next over, to be bowled maybe by Randre Daniel. And the score's been level, just 1 run needed for victory, but he needs 2 runs to get to that half century. No doubt he'll be thinking, hit a boundary and win the game and get a half century. Brendan Boudou, we'll see what happens. And as Francis just saying something to Randre Daniel, telling him bowl a wide, possibly. Just from the reaction of Randre Daniel, didn't seem like if he agreed. This is Daniel, and this one is struck away in the air. He get the winning run, and that will be it. He ends on 49, not out Brendan Boudou, and Trinidad and Tobago winning this game by some 7 wickets, getting to 89 for 3 in response to a paltry 88 made by the Leeward Islands, and almost an anticlimactic finish to what we expected to be a good third and fourth place playoff game. Probably the lowest score we've had all tournament. The Leeward Islands not batting well at all this morning, Dave Joseph.
Yeah, they didn't put up a good batting display at all. And it speaks well when you see the board and the scorecard. So, all in all, I think that Leeward should have, try and come out and put up a better showing, put up some fight, show some resilience. Some of the players are looking to come back next year. At least, send a message to some of the opponents here, so that when they see you next time around, they'll remember you.
Just 3 Leeward's batters got into double figures, 22 for Tannis Francis, 19 for Eric Richards, and 13 later on for Light Brown, as the Leewards were bowled out for 88, 4 wickets for Ronaldo Fornila, a wicket for Daniel Holder, 2 wickets for Darren Danraj, and a wicket each for Kadir Juman, Caden Powell, Pollard, and Brendan Boudou. And when they went out to bat, the Trinidad and Tobago team, Christian Lal got 2, Levi Ghani 8, but 49 and not out by Brendan Boudou, the captain, and Ethan Ramchuram, he got 10, and Tariq Richards ending not out on 5. The Trinidad and Tobago getting to 89 for 3, winning by 7 wickets over the Leeward Islands. So Trinidad and Tobago will be the 3rd place team in this year's CWI Rising Star Under 19 tournament, defeating the Leeward Islands in this 3rd and 4th place playoff games. The Leeward will end in 4th place, and of course, other matches still going on. So if you're in Antigua and looking at a match to go and watch, there's a match taking place, the 1st and 2nd place. They're playing for the championship over at Ball Beef in Liberta, and Barbados are now 223 for 6, 223 for 6. Kimar Dixon falling for 48, 2 runs short of a half century. Justin Paris is there not out on 60, and they've actually lost 2 wickets quickly. Jahidi Hines just making 1, so RJ Gittens and Justin Paris at the crease there for the Barbados team, 226 for 6 in over number 44 in the championship game. And in the other match, when we last heard Guyana on the 19s, they were 143 for 5 in over number 38. Dave Joseph, your final thoughts as we look to bring this commentary to an end?
Yeah, I would like to say well played to Trinidad. I think what we have missed then more, I think the captaincy Brendan Boudou of Trinidad was on point.
He was on point today.
I think he's probably the best of them I've seen all tournament. He's definitely rolling his fielders around, rolling his bowlers around. I think he knows exactly where he wants his men. And I hope he'll continue to go from strength to strength. See, captaincy is a thing that's lacking in the Caribbean, and he has put up a good show today.
And he got the Leewards into early trouble.
Yeah,
he didn't let up.
Very much so. He didn't take the pressure off them.
Of them all day, kept them on the pressure, and the Leeward Islands folding very meekly today. So, in this encounter, Leeward Islands were bowled out for 88, and Trinidad and Tobago getting to 89 for 3 in the 16th over of the game, winning by some 7 wickets. On behalf of all of us here, the technical team, and my co-commentator, former West Indies mid-order batsman Dave Soppy Joseph. My name is Denmo Robert, saying thank you so much for listening to our coverage of this encounter. We were based here in beautiful Bethesda. We want to thank the folks of this community. We want to say thank you to the ground staff and the Bethesda Sports, Bethesda cricket team for their hospitality and for making our life easy here in this encounter. And they would have played their part in making sure that the CWI Under 19 Rising Star Tournament a success. On behalf of all of us here in Bethesda, Denmo Roberts saying have a great afternoon and goodbye.